We have a number of exciting updates to the Six platform that I'm very happy to share with you today. First and foremost, we've been listening to investor feedback. And so the first updates that I'm going to be sharing with you are about how we're making the investor experience of using the Six platform better. The first thing we've done is we've made the website easier to understand and to navigate through the launch of a new homepage, a new experience. We've made it easier to log in. So even if you've forgotten your passwords, so now all you need to do once we push this update, which will happen in the following week, is going to be entering your email address and you will automatically be entered into the event. We've automatically set it up so that every video is translated into 135 languages via auto-generated subtitles. You can now watch 6 events even while you're browsing other websites, and you can request any meeting with any company. So unveiling the new Six website, what you have here when you go to six.com is a very clear value proposition for you, which is that you get one-on-one and group access to the CEOs of now more than 500 publicly listed metals and mining companies. If you'd like to explore events, you can press explore. If you'd like to create events, you can press create an event. And if you simply want to see what events are happening today or in the future, all you would need to do is scroll down, and right from the homepage, you can easily access whichever event you're interested in attending. When you get to that page, now when you press register, all you will need to do is enter in your email address. So no more remembering passwords, no more logging in with Gmail or any other tool. All you need to do is enter in your email address and you will be directed to the event and you can proceed uninterrupted. As you're watching the replays of the event and very soon the live videos, you'll be able to turn on auto-generated captions so you can see subtitles across your language of your choice. Additionally, since we've noticed that many investors have been switching tabs, going into company websites, looking at things like their news releases, you can now, just by pressing a single button, switch into any website you'd like to see, and the Six event that you're participating in will actually follow you. And here you can see an example of the small screen over here at the bottom. You have complete control to increase or decrease the size of that screen. That way you can conduct due diligence, go to CDAR or Edgar or TradingView or CEO.ca or anywhere you choose, and still see the content and hear the substance of the event that is unfolding. Additionally, we've now made updates so that you are able to directly request meetings with the CEOs and VPIRs and management teams of the companies you're most interested in. So here you can see an example where you can see their real opportunities to request a meeting, and subsequently you can go and select the date and time of your choice. That request will get passed along to the company, and then the company can accept it or suggest an alternative date. So as an investor, you are now getting the same level of access that historically has only been reserved for Wall Street. And so subsequently, any investor today can request a meeting with any company and subsequently get that one-on-one interaction in addition to the group setting. In terms of updates for companies, I'm just going to start briefly with a recap of what we launched back in October 2023. And then I'm going to go ahead and showcase the updates that we made for companies in this release. So just bear with me, I'll go through this relatively quickly. Back in October, we announced and open sourced our platform so that anyone can now create their own events on it, whether you're a company, an investor, an analyst, a newsletter writer. Just by going to events.six.com/create, you can use our event builder, which includes AI-generated event titles and descriptions. You can add speakers, and you can do all of this absolutely for free. So we announced that back in October, and since then, we've continued to refine it and improve it. Additionally, back in October, we announced native integration with Verify, and here you can see an example of what that looks like. When companies are presenting their stories, they can natively share their Verify experience and present 3D models or any other of those sorts of applications that they would like. Additionally, we made it possible for companies to very easily upload their email subscribers and contact lists from MailChimp or HubSpot, Constant Contact, or anywhere else, and automatically send out invitations to investors, reminder emails, all of those sorts of things with perfect branding on behalf of the company, where it includes the logo, the colors, and so forth. In terms of what we're releasing today, the focus for this product launch has really been about creating organization accounts and making it far more useful as a platform if you're someone that is part of multiple organizations. So I'll show you what that looks like. Right off the bat, we now have the creation of organization accounts, and you can go into your org settings, create your account name. So here you can see it's 6inc, and you're able to now organize your account based on your particular settings. And you can, as a user, switch between different accounts that you're part of. And if you're part of many accounts, like I am, you'll have a very helpful drop down where you can just scroll and go into whichever account you need, organized alphabetically. Additionally, within the organization account feature, you're also able to upload your brand colors, your logo, as well as your calendar link, which is what investors, when they're booking a meeting with you, are ultimately redirected to. That way, it's native in your experience and within your workflow. We've added a number of different integrations. So we are now officially inside of the HubSpot App Store, as well as Constant Contact and MailChimp and SendGrid. So depending on whichever third-party email service provider you use, you can go ahead and connect 6 events with it. And then at midnight each day, we are going to synchronize all of your contact information that's coming in from investors registering for your event and pushing it into your email list. That way, if an investor registers for an event, they're automatically added to your email list, and you can subsequently keep in touch with them that way. Additionally, within the organization functionality, you're able to invite your team members. So here you can see I've invited Romeo and Yevon. In your case, you can invite CEOs, CFOs, VPIRs, marketing managers, even external consultants. And as such, anyone that you invite will have access to the organization you've created. And so this makes it much easier to go and manage the entire process. And from this screen, you can also update the biographies of other members. You can update their profile images. You can update all of those various parameters so that when they ultimately join the event as a speaker, everything is perfectly configured for them with as little friction as possible. We've also introduced additional self-serve billing options. So the 6 events platform begins for free on the bronze plan, which allows you to attend and host and register for events and do a whole sort of other things like promote the events, publish replays. The silver plan, which is at $1,000 per month and 50 cents per contact record, gives you additional access to analytics, which I'll showcase in a moment. But the big update on the organization side is now you're able to manage your billing plans per organization, and you can do it entirely yourself within this interface here on 6 events. In terms of the main differentiating feature between 6 bronze, the free plan, and 6 events, the silver plan, is this investor report, where the way this works is if you have an organization, in my case, we'll use 6inc, I've hosted 74 events. Inside of the investors report, all of the data across those 74 events I've been part of are consolidated into one singular view. And from this singular view, I'm able to understand at a glance the investor composition of who's attending and registering my events. I can look at my shareholder base of who's a shareholder and who's not. I can look at the sentiment composition. I can, in a click, see every meeting that's ever been requested. That way, if I took a meeting a year ago or 3 months ago, I can go back into it, look at the individual folks who've requested meetings with me, follow up with them, and advance those conversations. Additionally, I can see new meeting requests coming in if I've missed one. I can also manage from within the investor report the actual activities that happened following the meeting. So if somebody says, yes, I'd like to invest, keep me in mind for your next private placement. Or if someone says, hey, I'm not quite ready yet, but reach out to me in 3 months, you're able to put all of that data natively inside of the investor report. Every investor that registers has a profile, and they go and they identify what sort of investor they are: retail, accredited, institutional, corporate. All of that information is supplied directly by the end user, and then that gets pushed into the investor report so that you have a better sense of who you're speaking with when you reach out to them or respond to a meeting request. And all of this is organized at an organization level, which means that you can very easily switch between different organizations you're part of and have a full overview of that investor composition and interest based on that organization. So it organizes it and makes the entire platform much more useful from an investor relations perspective. The next big update that we are releasing today is one of my favorite, which is 6 leads. And I'll illustrate the importance of 6 leads with a story. Imagine that you've just run a $20 million drill campaign or drill program, and you've hit something big. You've hit an intercept that could be make or break. People are talking about that the gold deposit might be more than 2 million ounces. They don't know. Everyone is excited. And so you want to use this moment to shout it from the rooftops and let as many people know as possible. Historically, if you were in this situation, you would have to call up a digital agency. You would spend a few weeks negotiating terms with that digital agency, explaining the context, explaining them what it means to be a metals and mining company and what it means to have an intercept with high grade gold and why everyone's excited in the positioning. You'd also have to negotiate the price of that contract, which will usually work out to be about $10,000 a month, and maybe it's a 6-term a month deal. You then, in a few weeks, retain them for $60,000, which then gives you the right to give them additional money that they can then spend on different ad campaigns where it flows to Google or to Facebook. Maybe you give them $10,000, which means you've now spent $70,000 for the benefit of $10,000 of advertisements. They put together that ad campaign. It takes them a few weeks. And by the time they had launched, it's already been 6 weeks or 2 months later from the point where you've had this announcement. The market has already priced in the announcement. There's far other things that have happened since then. Nobody is interested in the initial announcement that you've made. And as such, you've effectively missed this opportunity. There has to be a better way. And now there is. With 6 leads, you're now able, as an investor relation professional or CEO or even a VP exploration, to go into the platform. There's no monthly subscription. All you need to do is go into the platform, create a campaign yourself, and I'll show you very quickly what that experience looks like. So you can enter in the campaign name, you can put in the destination URL, the headline, the description, the keywords, the locations, the gender, all of these various different details. And in a click, you can launch the campaign and fund it with whatever budget is appropriate. And within about 24 hours, your campaign will be live. And in this case, right now we've built it so it goes live on Google search specifically. So if you know, for example, that you're a gold company and you might want to use the keywords gold investments or junior mining investments or gold price today to hit that intent, you can build out your campaign and your ad and it just immediately launches. There's now no need for a long drawn out sales cycle. There's no need for an external digital marketing or advertising agency. There's no need for a 6-month contract where you spend $70,000 to only get the benefit of $10,000 of ad spend. You can do all of it yourself. And we've built it to be incredibly simple. And in the future, just as we've simplified the 6 events creation process, you're going to see a button here that says Generate with AI, where you can upload your press release and we will automatically create all of the content inside of your ad for you, from the campaign name, the destination URL, the headline, all the way through to the targeting, the functionality, as well as a recommended budget. And so this is going to dramatically simplify the abilities for mining companies and that have limited budgets to immediately get the message out. And because there's no commitment, there's no long-term contracts, you can just see how it performs. Here you can see as an example of what this campaign looks like, where it shows a breakdown of different keywords and their subsequent results. This is what the ad looks like. If you've ever used Google, you'll be very familiar with the experience of what a Google ad is and who sees it when you type in that keyword. And you can see the results, the clicks it gets to your website, and on that basis, determine if it makes sense to expand the budget and what press releases would trigger that, or what sorts of company news or announcements would trigger that. And so all of this is live today, and you can access it from leads.6.com. The next big product that we're announcing today is 6 websites. Similar to what we saw in the digital advertising space, we noticed that the current existing process of launching a website for public companies, and especially public mining companies, tends to be very long and drawn out. It tends to be that there's excitement at the beginning, and then 3 or 6 months later, the company website is finally live. The information is outdated, and 2 years go by or a year goes by, the information becomes stale, and it becomes more of a liability than an asset. Investors are frustrated, and it's just one more thing that you, as an investor relation professional or CEO or CFO, need to manage because it falls on your lap, even though you don't want to do it. And so with 6 websites, we've made 3 major innovations that make this far better than any website experience you've ever had before. The first innovation is that we've integrated it natively with the regulatory filings you're already making. What that means is that we are pulling the information directly from EDGAR and CEDAR so that all of your information is automatically up to date. Your stock information, your press releases, all of that is automatically pulled into the website. That means that there's less work that you need to do since more of it is automated. The second major innovation that we've made is we've automatically translated your website into 135 languages. Increasingly, companies are operating in multiple jurisdictions. Investment capital is coming from unlikely places as globally people are interested in investment opportunities. And so subsequently, this allows you to have a much broader reach of investors who are able to go to your website, see the translated version, and the translated version will very clearly say, this has been automatically translated. You are not, as a company, liable. The version you're maintaining is the English one. But in that way, it allows investors to just get a better understanding and sense of what is happening within the company. And so as an example of what that looks like, here you can see a simple example with regards to Power Nickel, where it subsequently breaks down and makes it easy for investors to access your presentation, your fact sheet, your recent news, and so forth. And so in summary, these are the updates that I'm very happy to share with you today as of what we've launched and are launching now on February 15th, 2024. If you have any questions, feel free to ask it in the chat, or if it's a private question or if you'd like a meeting with me, my email address is daniel@six.com. I'd be very happy to take a meeting. Incredible. Thank you. And I'm glad that you were excited. And I hope that this product launch delivered. Incredible. So with that, we are at the conclusion of our product launch. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll be sending out an email summary with all of the things we've mentioned, as well as various links that'll help you get started. Have a wonderful rest of the afternoon.